Hello everyone, I'm Meteorologist Charlie Ironmonger. Thank you so much for joining me today for your 10 a.m. news and weather update from the First Alert Desk. Now we do have some unfortunate news to share with you out of Craven County where emergency service officials are highlighting a house fire investigation that could be related to the house heater. Now, Craven County fire crews were called at around 4:30 a.m. this morning to a fire at 1800 Highway 43 just outside Vanceboro. Now, county emergency service officials say the homeowner and 3 dogs were inside the home at the time of the fire, but they were all able to get out safely. No injuries were reported, but officials say the home is about 50% damaged. Officials urge residents to make sure they have working smoke detectors to alert them while sleeping. The cause of the fire is currently under investigation, but officials say it may be related to the heater in the home. Vanceboro Volunteer Fire Department, Little Swift Creek Fire Department, and Fort Barnwell Volunteer Fire Department worked together to fight the fire. And now we want to turn our attention to the ongoing, we'll call it a debate over who should control Greenland, Denmark or the U.S. President Trump and his top officials, Marco Rubio, met with Danish leaders, and Peter Alexander has more on what came from that meeting.
This morning, President Trump is not backing down from his repeated threats to take control of Greenland.
Greenland is very important for the national security.
The president's latest remarks follow a months-long pressure campaign, finally punctuated by a closed-door sit-down between Vice President J.D. Vance, Secretary of State Marco Rubio, and the foreign ministers of Denmark and its territory, Greenland.
We therefore still have a fundamental disagreement, but we also agree to disagree. And therefore we will, however, continue to talk.
Greenland is roughly 3 times the size of Texas, with a population of just about 57,000. The U.S. already has a base there that the vice president visited last year, with radar systems to serve as an early warning for potential attacks from Russia. Just hours before Wednesday's meeting, President Trump dismissed concerns among America's European allies, posting, "NATO becomes far more formidable and effective with Greenland in the hands of the United States," adding anything less than that is unacceptable. And days earlier with this declaration about his plans.
If we don't do it the easy way, we're going to do it the hard way.
President Trump has not ruled out military force, but Rubio says the president would prefer to purchase the island. 3 people familiar with the estimate tell NBC News the price tag to buy Greenland could be as much as $700 billion. And recent polling shows roughly 70% of Americans oppose taking Greenland by force.
Så vil jeg gerne gentage.
Greenland's prime minister offering his clearest statement yet this week, saying if we have to choose between the USA and Denmark, we choose Denmark. Back in Washington, the president is facing criticism from both parties.
The thought of the United States taking the position that we would take Greenland, an independent territory within the Kingdom of Denmark, is absurd.
The idea that we have to own the country in order to protect our national security is just nonsense.
And again, that was Peter Alexander reporting. We now turn to your weather forecast. Of course, all attention being paid to Sunday, and rightly so, is that is our chance at snow, at least our next chance at snow. We're probably not going to be seeing, boatloads of snow coming down, but we could certainly see a few flakes as we transition from Sunday afternoon into Sunday evening and then even into Sunday night. Let's take a look at what you need to know for your Sunday. It's going to start out as rain. It is not going to be a straight snow event. Rarely do we get those in eastern North Carolina. Usually we've got, again, a system that brings in some cold air. We'll see that coming up on really earlier Saturday. Then that system rolls through, the cold air sits over eastern North Carolina. Then we get another moisture source that tries to bring in a little bit more precipitation. That precipitation initially starts to come down as rain and then switches over to snow. That's exactly what we're going to be seeing with this system. Again, rain to start, rain shifting to snow for inland areas, particularly those areas on the western side of Highway 17. And we are anticipating a rain event along the coast. Now, could the northern Outer Banks see maybe a few snowflakes late Sunday night as the whole system pulls out into the Atlantic? Yeah, certainly a possibility, but we're not looking again at daytime snowflakes along the Outer Banks or even around the Sounds. It's really going to, again, be a system that we see maybe an inch, maybe 2 inches in some areas come down. But overall, certainly something that warrants your attention, as snow in eastern North Carolina is certainly very impactful, but we are not looking again at the type of major snow event that will be occurring up to our north. Now, here's a look at what we've got right now across eastern North Carolina. Mostly dry conditions. We do have some cloud cover over the east currently. That cloud cover is gradually going to fade away through the day. We're starting to see some breaks in those clouds. You can see some peaks of blue over Washington right now, but still, again, calling it a mostly cloudy day. 40-degree air temperatures right now come with a northwesterly breeze at 10 miles per hour, and that makes 40 feel more like 34. It is chilly out there when you factor in the winds, but even when you don't, I mean, the air temperatures right now certainly warrant a jacket on the way out the door. As far as where we were yesterday compared to where we were today, we are down about 7 to 10 degrees. It is again going to be another cold day coming up for tomorrow. Today, we're going to be likely spending the day in the low to mid 40s, which, as you can see, is about 10 degrees below our seasonal average. Later on tonight, we're looking at the upper teens to low 20s. It is going to be cold. The northwesterly wind doing its job right now, blowing in at around 10 to 15 miles an hour across most of eastern North Carolina. As you get closer to the water, you are seeing again a little bit of a stronger breeze, particularly around the Albemarle Sound, where Edenton is showing up with a 16 mile per hour sustained wind out of the northwest, 20 mile per hour sustained breeze out of Elizabeth City. Now, everything again is going to be cooling us off today, other than the sunshine. The winds are going to be cooling us off. The air moving in with the winds is going to help cool us off. The sunshine going to try to warm us up. It's going to struggle to do so, though. I really think air temperatures today are not going to get too much warmer than where we're at right now. And then later on at night, skies remain clear and air temperatures will plummet. Again, down into the upper teens to low 20s as we head towards 7 and 8 a.m. From there, we're into the mid 40s by noon, and possibly flirting with the upper 40s coming up tomorrow afternoon. Now, the reason for a little bit more heat tomorrow, southwesterly winds. They do a pretty good job of bringing in some heat to the east, and, well, it's looking likely as we head into, I would say, more so Saturday. That's when you're really going to notice the temperature bump. But coming up tomorrow, we will be a few degrees warmer than where we're going to end up today. Now, sunny skies today, again, going to be very nice this afternoon, but clear skies overnight will help drive those air temperatures down into frigid levels. Again, teens and into the low 20s for tomorrow morning. And tomorrow, very little cloud cover will pass over eastern North Carolina. Of course, it's not really your Friday or even your Saturday that are all that concerning. It's the system that is going to be moving through on Sunday. It's essentially going to be two systems. We've got an area of high pressure. It's going to keep us sunny for really the second half of today and tomorrow. But then it's that cold front that is coming down out of Canada. It's got a lot of cold air, and you see just how far it digs southward, extending all the way down into the Gulf. That cold front will give us the cold air needed to turn some moisture into some snowflakes. That cold front is expected to move over eastern North Carolina at times on Saturday evening to Saturday night. Now, as it rolls through, again, we're not anticipating much moisture out of that system itself. There you can see it passing by and showing up again right off the coast. But once it gets to the coast, that's when we see it slowly start to stall. When that happens, low pressure systems can easily form along those boundaries. And that is exactly what models are suggesting will happen. Area of low pressure is going to form just off the coast of Georgia and South Carolina, and it's going to gather up some moisture and send that moisture into eastern North Carolina. As you can see, the cold air and moisture combo will create a potential for some snowflakes across eastern North Carolina. I think starting right around midday on Sunday and then getting a little bit heavier, or at least we'll see more of a snow fall precipitation versus a rain-snow mix as we get later and later into Sunday. But as we get later into Sunday, that system is gradually going to pull itself away from the east. Now, as it does so, again, air temperatures will continue to fall. And that's why I think the northern Outer Banks may see, again, some snowflakes as this system exits. But for the most part, ground temperatures during this time period may still be, and most likely will still be, above our seasonal average. Again, this setup right here, which actually we're going to zoom the camera in a little bit more, give you a hey. But as far as ground temperatures go, initially ground temps are going to be likely in the mid to upper 30s as we get towards, I would say, around noon as we head through Sunday. Then through the day, as those snowflakes come down, as the rain comes down, that will gradually lower the ground temperature profile. We will see ground temps drop down below freezing for inland areas, potentially around 4, maybe 5 p.m. That's when we could potentially start to see some accumulations on roadways. Now, we have heard reports that crews are already out putting brine down on some of the roads across eastern North Carolina. I imagine we will see more of those trucks driving around as we head through both Friday as well as Saturday. Sunday, again, is the day to watch for. But as far as snowfall totals, I'm not looking again at a major dumping of snow. This is not going to be a record-setting event, but it is right now looking like our best opportunity for snowfall in eastern North Carolina that we have had so far this winter. Yeah, we had some early rounds of snow back in December, but not looking at we really didn't see, again, a whole lot of road accumulation and widespread road accumulation with that system. I think this one we will see a better opportunity for some rough roads out there, especially for areas that don't get the brine treatment. Usually those are secondary roads. But again, the North Carolina DOT has got a heads up on this system, already seeing some trucks out there. We have reports that Bertie County has already have some brine coming down on their roads. So the biggest concern there is that we don't see heavy rain come down ahead of that snow. Otherwise, that brine is unfortunately may wash away, and that kind of wastes money, wastes the brine, and then we're still stuck with a messy situation. But for now, Sunday is the day to watch for. I'll get my face off the screen and give you a look at your full 8-day forecast. 40 today, 46 tomorrow, 60 on Saturday for your daytime high, but then overnight Saturday into Sunday, 35 degrees. So Saturday night into Sunday morning is when we are going to be seeing that whole cold front move overhead. And then we will see air temperatures come up above freezing on Sunday. We're going to start above freezing, and we'll get to the upper 30s. Some areas may sneak into low 40s, but it's the temperature drop as we head through Sunday that will determine how much we see that moisture over eastern North Carolina come down as snow versus a rain, snow, sleet, wintry mix. Good news is right now it does not look like freezing rain is going to be too much of a concern. Of course, I'm going to knock on wood right there after saying that. Usually freezing rain is just the pits. Don't like it. But as we make our way through Martin Luther King Jr. Day, we may still have some snow on the ground as we wake up early on in the morning. Now, the snow will gradually melt away as we head through your Monday, Tuesday, and certainly by Wednesday and Thursday it will be gone. But those overnight lows need to be paid attention to. Any sort of snow melt could lead to, again, some water on the roads, and with overnight lows dipping well below freezing for Sunday night, Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night. It is important to note that bridges are going to be dangerous as we head through the start of next week. Bridges will ice easily. I want to make sure that people understand that coming up really Sunday all the way through, I would assume probably Wednesday morning, we could have certainly some slick spots on the roads, especially during that morning commute. Well, that's all we have time for today's 10 a.m. News and Weather Update from the First Alert Desk. I want to thank you all so much for joining me. We'll be back with more news and weather coming up at the top of the hour. Until then, I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your day, and do want to say thank you to Joanne Mizell. Appreciate you over on Facebook. Hopefully, again, you're going to enjoy the snowflakes, but won't have a snow headache. We'll see you guys back here coming up at 11.